Hey everybody, it's Laurie from Cook Scrap Craft. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing with you all the layouts that I made in the month of June. I got a lot done, and actually I did more than I'm going to be showing you here, but some of the layouts, about 5 of them I believe, are for a guest design spot that starts at the end of July and goes through August, so you'll just have to wait until then to see what those layouts look like. I'm really excited to share them with you, but here are the layouts that I did complete this month. We're starting off with the most recent one that I finished, and I don't think many of these are up on the blog, so this is the first time that I am sharing any of these. I had this photo of my daughter eating a snack off of the bumper of my car. This was from last summer. And it reminds me of this photo that my parents had taken when I was a little kid, eating food off the bumper of the car. You can probably see there's a little bit of a difference. My food is touching the car bumper and my daughter's food is in a snack container. So when I took this photo, I didn't think I was going to do a layout like this. And then I ended up showing the picture to my dad to be like, hey, look, this is how you really let kids eat food off a car bumper. And I thought, you know what, why don't I scrapbook the two pictures together and kind of tell a little story about what happened and why I even took the picture. I mean, it's just a picture of her eating food. Like that's not really that exciting, but there's a story to it. It relates to this photo and me and my childhood. And it's kind of fun to see like the juxtaposition of the two of us. I think she was a little bit older than I was in this, in this photo. I can't quite remember how old I was here, but, anyway, so it's kind of fun just to see how the two of us, what we both look like as kids. And then I just kind of like added a couple like flowers here. These are the Cheeky Studio wildflowers and some sequins just to sort of spruce things up. And this is all using my June Counterfeit Kit Challenge kit, which I still have pieces in, believe it or not. I didn't use it up this month. This is another one that used my June Counterfeit Kit. And I had this picture. So I took my daughter to National Teddy Bear Day last year, and I didn't know in advance that you needed a special ticket because we had gone the previous year and gotten the free bear, and it says on the foot, you know, National Teddy Bear Day in the year. So we showed up again at the mall this time, and they were like, do you have the coupon? And I said, I don't know what the coupon is. And they said, well, you can't get this special National Teddy Bear Day bear, but you can get a similar bear, but it doesn't say National Teddy Bear on it. And I was like, well, that's dumb. I'm not doing that. But the mascot was there. I don't know what the Build-A-Bear mascot's name is, but he was there, and my daughter gave him a hug. So I had some pieces from my stash, Friends Forever, Best Friends, Hug Me, and I knew that I wanted to use those for this layout, kind of expressing the sentiment of my daughter and the bear, and I just did a little bit of journaling up on top. This is a pretty basic one. I love this little frame. I thought about putting the sweet frame like right over the picture, but it just seemed to cover things up a little bit too much, and I didn't like that. So yeah, just layered a bunch of like random scrap pieces here. Very easy to do, very easy way to use up some like leftover bits and pieces from my kit. This is one that I did for a challenge. So you probably saw this one on the blog already. It's Love, Love, Love. I think it was for Scrap the Girls. You had to mix patterns. So I have these little pocket cards, and they were all different patterns. They sort of coordinated, but they were very, but not all of them did. So like some of them have brown, some of them blacks, reds. And then I just had this like glittery heart paper that I sort of thought went well because like they don't go, they don't match, but they sort of go because it's hearts and hearts. And then I had these creative embellishments, chipboard hearts that are very Valentine's Day and love themed. I used one of them to sort of be the little tab on this journaling spot right here. And this is just a photo. You can see I did use one of those word frames around this photo because this was kind of we were smaller, and it sort of made it look not so like we're here and then there's just a bunch of space. And I did cut this photo down a little bit too. But anyway, so this is just a photo of my daughter and I riding a ride at a local amusement park. I think this was the second ride that we did that day. The first one she did not like, but this one she fared a little bit better with. And then this one I did a process video of, so I won't go too in depth with it. You can watch that video and read about it more on the blog. But it's just a very simple, basic travel layout about Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas. This one used my June Counterfeit Kit Challenge, and it's called Marianne Birthday because these pictures were taken in September, right around the time my daughter turned 2.5. This were last year. And she saw these party hats in our kitchen cabinets. We had gotten these for her first birthday. She wouldn't wear the hat at all. But I saved them because, I'm not going to throw them away. So she saw the hats and she wanted to wear one, surprisingly. And so we just took some fun little photos of her, and it was kind of like a half birthday photo shoot type of thing. And I got the design inspiration for this layout from another layout on Pinterest. So it's sort of a scrap lift, but just using some of the embellishments and pieces that I had. There's some furry friends, Cheeky Studio on here. This was a little sticker that came in like a journaling sticker pad. I can't remember who it's by, but then you color them in. They were black and white, but you could color them in. Same thing with that banner here. I didn't color that one in though. And then these are the journaling spots that came with it. So there was a little cake, a little bunny with hearts there. So I just thought these were like fun little elements to kind of add. And again, like none of this is part of the same collection, this paper, none of it is supposed to go together, but it goes together because you are always surprised when you're putting together counterfeit kits, how many things you actually have in your stash that do kind of go. Okay, so I have another one, but I can't show you all the photos that go with it. I don't have them blocked off anymore, but I did share this on the blog, so you can check it out there. This was my challenge for the Scrap the Boys challenge, and it was like about best friends and dogs. That was the mood board that we were working with, and they had a black and red color scheme. So I have these photo strips of my husband at one of his school dances with another teacher and some of their students, and they were all boys, so I thought it would be perfect to just scrap that moment. I know my husband hates having his picture taken, so I was really surprised when he came home with those, and I was like, I'm putting them in the scrapbook. So anyway, you can go and see the full page of that on the blog. This is another one that I did share on the blog because it was for a challenge, and I can't remember what challenge it was. I think it was for like the Spread the Sparkle, the Spiegel Mom Scraps Facebook page. It was a scrap lift. I loved creating this cluster of flowers. These are all the Cheeky Studio wildflowers. I'm almost done with all of my wildflowers, so I probably should get some more because they're so versatile. These are photos of some coworkers and I rehearsing for something that happened last year. And I just wanted to kind of commemorate that. There's more that I could have told in this page, more to the story based on what I know now. And I know I talk a lot about journaling and how much you should journal, especially when you are scrapbooking things and they've happened in the past. So the journaling that I just kept it very simple for this one in that small journaling spot, because at this point in time, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I just don't like to, I don't know. I don't like to add too much, because if I'm going back through these albums and they're in chronological order, I don't want to get confused as to the timeline of things. So I just kept the journaling very basic about what it was and who these people were. I added, I had one of those like fun frame things to go in the background here. I cut the big circle out. There's another one of those frame pieces here. I added some words and some fun like sparkles with the sequins and everything. So I like the way this one turned out, especially with the 3 different houndstooth pattern papers. So I thought that looked really cool. This one was another challenge. Can't remember where it was, but I liked using the circles because it's something that usually I do so much like square, rectangle stuff. Using circles is definitely a challenge for me. And then I used up some buttons, which is something that I have a lot of button elements in my stash, but I don't usually use them, surprisingly. But I loved using it. I thought it gave it some really great texture. And I think this was supposed to be for a scrap lift challenge. So all of this up here at the top was originally like flowers or something, but I just used buttons because that's what I had. And I thought it worked out really well. This is a 2-pager. So let me see what I can do. It's a Christmas 2-pager. This was actually a page kit that I got from my mom. And I had to cut down some photos to fit in these little places. It says, now that's a wrap, and it goes across both pages, which is pretty cool. And you've got this big reindeer made out of like cut apart pieces, and all of the pieces were already cut. I just had to glue everything down based on based on the layout where it told me to put them. So we had these great snowflakes. I really liked this because it was a really nice way to get multiple photos on the page. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 photos down here. And that was pretty much all the photos that I took from Christmas morning that I thought were actually worthy of being printed out and saved. This is the family Skyping with another family, part of the family who couldn't be there. Me and my daughter helping open presents. And so, yeah, I didn't take a whole lot of pictures on Christmas, but this 2-page layout, I really like the design of. I probably wouldn't do it again with something big in it like this. Maybe I would use this space for like another photo or just some like journaling and other embellishments, but I would definitely replicate this layout again. Then I have another travel one. This is showcasing the 6th Floor Museum in Dallas, Texas, which if you've never been, oh, it's a 2-pager, haha. If you've never been, it's really, really interesting. My husband's a big fan of the whole JFK assassination thing, this conspiracies that are around it. Really, really interesting. This is my second time being here and his first, so that's the museum. And I did this 2-pager. You've probably seen this design before. I just love this design, getting all these pictures on the page. I have 4 pictures, so these are actually 2 4x6, a 4x6, and I think I cut this one down a little bit. But you've probably seen it before where I had like 3 pictures here, and then 1, and I broke it up with a journaling spot, and then another one. You can do it in a lot of different ways, which is what I like about this so much. And I tried to keep it simple because like I have a lot of vacation stuff. This is on an adventure, tell your story, scenic route. But I do struggle with finding papers that are appropriate for stuff like this, stuff that is pictures of buildings or pictures of monuments, pictures of statues. Let me show you something from this paper pad. Like this is the vacation paper pad that I have. It's got swimsuits. It's got cacti. It's got a map of the United States, which I kind of want to do a title page with this for something. But I'm not going to use swimsuit paper for the JFK Museum. You know what I mean? So I do struggle a lot with finding the right types of papers for this. I'm curious to know what you guys do for your vacation photos, if you purchase a specific like generic type of vacation collection, or if you just use like regular colored patterns and prints. I recently found this in my stash. It's just a color box pattern paper pad. Like these might be good for, some of these might be good for some of the other vacation photos that I have. So maybe I should use that for some of the rest, because I still have some, I'm still working on this vacation album. This is from 2015. My daughter wasn't even born yet. She was a tiny little thing inside my belly when I went on this vacation. So I'm going to get it done. And speaking of the vacation, so here are photos from the Lyndon B. Johnson Museum, Library and Museum. So like there's the statue of him, and I just called it LBJ, here, destination, with a little plane. I mean, we didn't fly there. This was actually a road trip, but because I had this whole sheet of the plain paper, and then some of the strips here had planes in them, I just decided to go with it, and who really cares? If somebody asks me about it, then I'm going to be like, stop paying attention so closely, like just deal with it. But this is the outside of the museum, and then this is what the Oval Office looked like when he was in office. And again, like it's very simple. Journaling spot, embellishment, little embellishment cluster, and we're done, So I think sometimes when you're doing vacation layouts, just keeping things as simple as possible is the easiest way to go. So those are all the layouts that I can share with you this month. Stick around because I'm going to have more process videos, hopefully, and another layout share to go up next month. So I'd love to see what you guys are working on. Follow me below, follow me on social media, subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, like, and I will see you around. Happy scrapping!